All right. Is my mic working? Mic check? Okay, it's on. Okay, good, good, good. Hello, buzzing folks. Happy Autism Awareness Month. Ooh, what a special month this is for all the children and teenagers and adults to celebrate their diagnosis, or should I say, us neurodivergents celebrate who we are. But then again, autism awareness is pretty much every day and every month and every year to me, honestly. But if there's any neurodivergents watching this, hello. You are very special inside and out. And let's see in the comments. Hey there, AG. Thank you for saying Happy Autism Awareness Month. And the same goes to you. I hope saying goes to you for, amazing it with your, I lost my train of thoughts. I don't know what to say. Hello there, Super Vector. How you doing? You showed up quite early. And if anybody else shows up, hello. And so since April is Autism Awareness Month, and it is a month where we do celebrate every neurodivergent for who they are. If anybody has like a family member who's on the spectrum, or is in a relationship with somebody who's on the spectrum, or has or might possibly have a new member of the family who is going to be on the spectrum and still accepts them for who they are, remind them that they are special inside and out, no matter what. How was that? Ooh, that's cool. I hope you enjoy it, Super Vector, and have lots of fun with it. And if you guys hear that annoying rumbling sound in the background, that was my neighbor's car. That thing is always rumbling. It's kind of like an old car, those loud old cars. But it's okay. He finally stopped with the car now. Thank goodness. That thing's been running for almost 30 minutes. Oh, no. There you go with the Pinocchio nose. And so another thing I do want to talk about is that, do you guys ever recall, like, let's say, a movie or a TV show or a video game that you enjoy, and you kind of feel like the character has like a similar characteristics to, like, let's say if you're on a spectrum or something like that? And of course, there are times where even if they're not fully canon with their diagnosis, they kind of show personality traits or behavior traits that is similar to those who are on the spectrum. Let's see. And what's interesting is that I found out a while back, if you guys remember that old Cartoon Network show called The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the creator actually did say that he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome late in his life. And so basically, Grim, Billy, and Mandy are basically him, but with all three personalities. Like they're his whole personality, but split into three characters, basically. Like Billy is basically his goofy side, Mandy is his cold side, and Grim is pretty much like a mixture of both of them. It was very interesting, and that got me thinking, wow, so basically the show was Asperger's syndrome as three characters, which honestly is very incredible. And interesting enough, when I look back at the Powerpuff Girls, like, not the new one, the old school one, is that I noticed that Bubbles kind of seems to have some kind of personality traits that is kind of similar to, like, let's say, those with autism, even though she's not fully said to be canon with autism, but she kind of has like a behavior traits that are similar to it. Whereas Blossom and Buttercup, they seem like either they are the neurotypicals or maybe all of them might be, but three personalities like split into, you know, the diagnosis. Don't know, but that's what I think. I think Bubbles is the one with autism, and Blossom and Buttercup might be the neurotypical ones. It's possible. That's right. Classic CN. I'll never forget those days. But although there has been some negative stereotypes when it comes to autism, like basically, they do rely on the stereotypes where they make it seem like the character is basically, well, robotic. Like, robotic and having no emotions, not being interested in romance or anything like that. When actually it's not true for some people because everybody's different in their own way. And another negative thing that I have noticed is that when I was watching Harriana Hook's, shout out to her, by the way. When I was watching Harriana Hook's Girl Meets World video, she mentioned that there was an episode where one of the characters, his name is Sparkle, where it seems like he might be diagnosed with autism, like Asperger's syndrome, basically. But the problem is that his friends were very negative and ableist towards him because every time he brought it up, his two friends, I think they said it was Maya and Riley, they always act like they were scared or be like, oh, you don't have it, that this and that, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, geez, do y'all have a problem with people with autism or something like that, or you only have a problem because he's your friend? But the thing is that, what if he did had it the whole time? But honestly, in the episode, he said that he didn't have it, but Disney wasted their time with that episode. I kind of wish they made him actually have the autism, because basically it would have showed that he's still himself, and it doesn't matter if he's on the spectrum or not. Is that his friends got to accept it or not? But then if they don't, then too bad. I don't like that episode though. That episode did not age well. And I can't imagine how the children felt when they saw that episode, the ones who were on the spectrum, and it must have made them feel really bad about themselves. I can't imagine the feeling. Mm-mm. But if you guys want to give your thoughts about that episode, you can, because I don't like that episode. That episode is very ableist. It's weird. Very, very weird. Okay. And let's see. And also, I noticed that when I look back at my old elementary school, they're doing like a very special events for April. Whenever April comes around, they do special events for those who are on the spectrum. And whenever there are students who are on the spectrum, it makes them feel very special, and it keeps them from being like, bullied, of course. Because honestly, I was bullied in the past, and I was on the spectrum, and it was not good. Mm-mm. No. It wasn't right. Pretty much why to this day I still hold those emotional scars of, like, feeling lonely, feeling fear, being made fun of again, and still having difficulties with speaking, because sometimes I can be a little anxious at times. Like, even now, I sometimes stutter and still have difficulties communicating with people. But whenever I'm around the people who I'm comfortable with, like, let's say my family and AG, sometimes I can speak fine, and sometimes I start stuttering, but I try to take it easy whenever I talk. Because when I talk too fast, or when a million thoughts are going through my head, I start stuttering, It's quite annoying. But it's okay, it's not my fault. It's just who I am. Anybody have anything else they want to share? Like their own personal stories about being on the spectrum or having some type of different diagnosis? And there's no shame in telling, this or that. No shame. Actually, nobody should be shamed. Nope. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Gotta check on something. Oh, yeah. And you guys can also ask me a question if you want. Sometimes my laptop might be a little slow when it comes to questions, but it's okay. It's kind of old, but it's okay. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. And so, what else is there to share? Oh, and also, when I was watching My Hero Academia, do you guys think Deku might be showing similar behavior traits of being on the spectrum? And another one that I think who might also be on the spectrum in My Hero Academia is not only Deku, but also Ida, Todoroki, and Sue. And Mei Hatsume. Well, that's my headcanon anyway. That's what I think, at least. And for some reason, Daiki Kaminari kind of gives me ADHD vibes. Oh yeah, and that's also what I noticed that's quite common, ADHD. I think the first time I was introduced to ADHD, I think it was that game Night in the Woods, where the main character herself, May Borowski, she's said to have dissociation, derealization, anxiety, and ADHD. That's pretty raw, but also quite interesting because that makes people who either has one or two or three or all of them can relate to. I can't imagine what having dissociation and derealization would be like. And I think one of the other characters said that Greg in Night in the Woods might have bipolar disorder. At first, I didn't know what that was, but once I found out what it was, I was like, oh, okay, so that's what that is. It was quite interesting. And I think, if I remember correctly, this one magazine that I was reading, they said that there's some other diagnosis that those who are on the spectrum can have. Like they can have either ADHD or they can have epilepsy or what's the other one? What is that called? I gotta look at that magazine again. It's been a little minute since I read it. Ooh, thank you for the cookie. I prefer homemade cookies, but that one looks good. Who doesn't love a homemade cookie? And also another thing that people seems to find kind of strange for those who are on the spectrum, they kind of notice this interesting behavior. Even I did it as a kid. It was echolalia and having meltdowns, sensory overloads, and what else? Most of the time playing by myself, showing special interest in video games and certain TV shows, and wanting to watch the same movie over and over and over again. It's like I can't help it. Even though there are times I was told to stop it, but I kept going because I can't help it. And during that time, it wasn't my fault. And interesting enough, this was around during a time when it was the early to mid 2000s. That was during a time when things were like different. Oh yeah, and doing that too. Well, actually, I think I kind of did do that, like putting books in certain orders, making sure the games were in certain order, and making sure pretty much everything, like toys, basically put them in order so I can see which toy is which, so that the place won't be too messy. Oh, you too, AG. I'm proud of you too, and you stay strong too. You made your family disappear. I love that little bee emoji. Sometimes I wonder that's what my mind be doing. Sometimes I feel like bees where my mind sometimes be going around like a bunch of bees going buzz and buzz and buzz and I. Yeah, let's see. Recently, that is true, and autism in some ways is still kind of misunderstood nowadays. Well, not as much as it used to, but it's getting better. And let's see, there was something else in this magazine that it said. I gotta find the magazine. All right, I found it. Okay, so in this magazine, it says right here Autism, a New Understanding, the Spectrum and Neurodiversity, the Many Faces of Autism, Treatments at Every Age, and Finding Support. And so basically, upside down, hope you don't get a blood rush. Let's see. Ooh, there's so many words in this magazine, I can't even read this. It's dark. Where's my flashlight? There we go. It says right here the definition of autism has changed dramatically over the years, and so our perception of what it means to be autistic. And it says, like here, for example, autistic people can be chatty or nonverbal, brilliant, or cognitively disabled. They may be hypersensitive to sound and light, or be comfortable playing percussion in a band. And children with autism may have significant behavioral issues, or they may be unusually quiet and unresponsive. Some autistic people have extraordinary abilities, others struggle to complete basic activities of daily living. And let's see. Uh, this huge range of symptoms, personality qualities, abilities, and disabilities within one diagnosis. And y'all see that? That's another problem. I mess up my words. There goes another one. It's okay. Diagnostic category, however, is relatively new. Let's see. And ooh, this is interesting right here. Yeah, diagnostic. That's what it was. Thank you, AG. You read my mind. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's see. So, oh, and it says right here. This one's interesting. Before 1980, there was no disorder called autism in DSM. Children with severe behavioral and emotional symptoms were diagnosed as having a psychiatric condition called childhood what? I can't say that word. This word is very confusing. I'll spell it out for you guys. It's Schizophrenia. I can't say that word, but it's whatever. And let's see, many were institutionalized And it says right here, in 1980, a new group of disorders was added to the DSM 3. These were called the pervasive developmental disorders, or PDDs. And that's exactly what I have, PDD. And let's see, and what else? Where did I stop? A new diagnosis, infantile autism, was included in the list. Autism became better known, but it was still generally rare, severe, and poorly understood, which is true. It wasn't until 1994 that the DSM 4 introduced the concept of an autism spectrum, which included 5 separate diagnoses, Asperger syndrome among them. Many children with PDDs could participate in orderly activities of daily life. Some were exceptionally brilliant. He and let's see. Da, 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 da. Wow, that's a lot to read. Let's see. Where is this? Another one. Da, 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 da. Right here. In 2013, the DSM-5 changed the definition of autism radically. All of the diagnoses, including in DSM-4, were removed in favor of a new catch-all diagnosis called autism spectrum disorder. Anyone who had been diagnosed with any of the PDDs under the DSM-4 was grandfathered into the new autism spectrum disorder. This also led to the development of the term neurodiversity. Honestly, that's very interesting. What do you guys think? That's very interesting, huh? Oh, thank you, AG. You spelled that word for me. I couldn't say it for some reason. It's kind of weird. There are some words that I have a hard time saying, and it's very weird. Even if I hear it so many times, I can't say it. It's very weird. Yep. When they say this kid is crazy, that's exactly what some of the kids were thinking whenever they see a kid who's not similar to them. Like basically, if they see a child who's basically playing by themselves or putting things like, let's say, in order, or just even quiet, like if they're not saying anything, then it's kind of weird because I remember when I was in a classroom, I used to sit there being completely quiet, but then let's say the other girls come up to me asking me, am I dumb or am I weird, just because I'm sitting there completely silent. And I'm like, there's nothing to talk about. What do you want me to say? To say random words? It's very weird. Let's see. Honestly, that's very weird. Whenever I look at that, they try to say Asperger syndrome is not part of the ASD thing anymore, but no, it's not. It's still there. Let's see. And oh yeah, I mix up my words a lot, and it's annoying. Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's annoying. Yes, fidget. I kind of do that too, still to this day. Like I bounce my leg. Sometimes I stare off into space. And there was another thing I used to do. I still do to this day. I still bite the inside of my cheek. I constantly keep biting it and biting it. Or sometimes I bite my tongue. I try to stop doing it, but I can't. So Rebecca, don't self-doubt yourself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think. Just be yourself. That's all that matters. And if anybody else got a problem with it, well, too bad. Oh, totally. And I think it's because AG, I think it's because they share a lot more things in common because we see things differently compared to like the neurotypicals, how they see things. Even to this day, I still don't know what it's like for a neurotypical's point of view, which is why I always ask my family members and my mom what they think about certain things. because I try to see from their point of view of how they see things. Let's see. And honestly, yeah, we still did that in school. It took me a long time to realize that some of the things that I did, it kind of made people stare at me. Like sometimes I could just be sitting there listening to my music and somebody's trying to talk to me and I'm like, wait, what'd you say? Because I'd be spacing out sometimes and I can't help it. And honestly, I kind of don't like when things move a little too fast. I think it's because it can be a little too much for me and it can make me feel a bit overwhelmed sometimes. And the pressure of things, or sometimes asking me the same question that I already answered, it does aggravate me. Oh, speaking of being in bed, AJ, you gave me an idea. So somebody mentioned that they dealt with burnout for nearly 2 years, and the whole time they couldn't get out of bed and couldn't do their daily routine. That kind of reminds me that there are times where I do be experiencing burnout because sometimes I just don't feel like doing anything or don't want to be bothered. And when someone talks to me, I'm already agitated because my sensories are a lot higher and makes me easily irritable. And then when I be like, what? And then everybody thinks I'm having an attitude, but I'm not having an attitude. I'm just burnt out and I just need to be left alone. Isn't that kind of weird that some people think that when somebody's experiencing a burnout, they think they're having an attitude when actually it's not true? It's very odd. Let's see. And let's see. There was something else in this magazine. Let's see. No. Uh, this one right here, it says the differences in uh, diagnosing autism in girls and boys. Boys are more likely to be diagnosed with autism at an earlier age, whereas for um, um, I guess that's why it's kind of been a hard time for certain girls to know that they're on the spectrum because basically with boys they see it's easier, but with girls they're like, I don't know, she's just shy or this or that. It's like, no, no. Basically, anybody can get it, no matter the gender. I mean, y'all get what I'm saying? It's crazy. Hey, it's all right, AG. I understand. You do need a break sometimes. Because after all, burnout is not fun. Because I know it can make you feel a bit easily irritable. Because but it's okay. I feel you. And let's see. To the age you reach to the double digits. That's kind of funny you mentioned that, Super Vector. I didn't know that I had autism until around high school. I think it was around my second year of high school is when I found out. It's it's crazy. I guess you could say that's kind of late-ish, but at the same time, yeah. And that's why we find some characters that we can relate to. Like, let's say, in my case, I can relate to Lunella, or should I say Moon Girl, because basically she reminds me of everything I wish I was. It's crazy. If you didn't know it, now you know. Moon Girl Magic, Moon Girl Magic. I'm still on season 2. I just didn't finish the show because for some reason Disney Plus is acting very weird. But it's okay. Once my Disney Plus thing stops stuttering so much, then I can finally finish this season 2. interesting enough, in the show they said her brain is her superpower. So that got me thinking, hmm, I think our brains are the superpower. Right? Right? Thank you, AG, and you're as sweet as candy. And I guess I would ask an interesting question. If you had to choose which one's your favorite candy, which one it'll be? Like the one that stands out to you the most. If it's any, then it's fine. Let's see. And da, da, da. Oh, lollipops? I can see why. I mean, it's a whole variety of colors and flavors. If I had to choose which lollipop was my favorite, I think it was the green apple one. I never really liked the caramel one, and I still don't. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. There was something else. Definitely love chocolate. Chocolate's the best. And oranges good too, and apples. And I think vegetables has become my safe food too, I think. Oh, it is. Thank you, AG, and I hope things are going well for you too. Of course, you know I'm always around whenever you need some advice, you know. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find what else is in this magazine. Let's see. There's so many pages on here. Let's see. I think this page has something interesting. Let's see. I gotta move my laptop a bit. There we go. Let's see. So right here, it says right here, what does it mean to be neurodivergent? Neurodivergence refers to a difference in the way the brain works. It includes several disorders, including autism, ADHD, and dyslexia. Oh, I. Oh God, my internet's acting up. Don't worry, guys. If you can hear me, it's fine. My thing just had a. As you guys can see, my stupid internet just gave me an issue, and so it was being stupid. And so, anyway, so, oh my God, okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I'll just continue what I was saying without the internet interrupting me. Don't worry, AG. I meant to send it to you before, but I kind of forgot and got caught up into things, but it's okay. My thing is working again. Thank you. Okay. As I was saying before my internet interrupted me, I was saying this magazine right here, it says, what does it mean to be neurodivergent? Uh, It says neurodivergence refers to a difference in the way the brain works. It includes several disorders, including autism, ADHD, and dyslexia. But seriously, I can't imagine what it's like having dyslexia or dysgraphia. Let's see, and let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, nothing else interesting in this magazine. Let's see what else. This part right here. Okay. So it says right here, symptoms shared by non-autistic peers. There are many autistic traits that are shared by people who are not autistic. They become markers of autism based not on their existence, but on the degree to which they vary from what non-autistic society considers normal. Of course, normal is in the eye of the beholder. Thus, it can be hard to determine whether a behavior indicates a person is autistic. To a degree, it's a matter of how the behavior is expressed rather than whether it is expressed. Oh, hey, Jane, I didn't see you there. Oh, you have ADHD and autism, so you're ADHD. That's very impressive. Welcome, neurodivergent friend, or should I say neurodivergent member? Let's see, and what else? Oh, and this is an interesting one. This one right here says stemming, or fidget, as some of us call it. Stemming, which is short for self-stimulation, refers to sounds and movements that have no purpose other than self-calming or self-stimulation, sorry. These can range from the more common hair twirling, which I kind of do, and toe tapping and nail biting. I don't bite my nails, it's gross. And to the less common, swaying or rocking, continuous repetition of a phrase or song line, and self injury through head banging and pinching. Ow. Let's see, and what else? And another thing here is that it says universal symptoms of autism. All of the above symptoms may be present for a diagnosis. Hyper or hypoactivity to sensory input, repetitive behavior, interests, or activities, social and communication, social and communication being different, verbal and nonverbal, difficulties in relationship development, maintenance, and understanding, fixated interest considered abnormal in intensity, which I did do a lot, but trying to get better at. Attachment to sameness, routines, and behaviors. I still do that to this day, like especially trying to wake up early in the morning, trying to do my normal routine. Let's see. Okay, and this interesting page, let's see. It says disorders that can be misdiagnosed as autism. Some autistic traits overlap with or are similar to traits associated with other conditions such as anxiety, ADHD, bipolar disorder, and PTSD. Oh, what else you say there, Jane? Let's see. Honestly, yes, and I do the same thing still with music. Like sometimes I repeat like one part of the song over and over again because I love it so much. Or sometimes I be listening to the same song over and over again. Actually, I think I have a fixation with cats, like anything that is cats. Whether it's like a house cat or a wild cat. And I still do to this day, and also I have a fixation with dinosaurs too. Let's see what else here. I also see right here anxiety disorders, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, aka ADHD, and borderline personality disorder, or BPD as it's called, and obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. Sometimes I wonder if I had that, but I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. No. And post traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I think I had that, or I might have CPTSD. Maybe it was one of them. Let's see, and right here, and this page right here, what do they mean? Asperger's is no longer an official diagnosis. Y'all stop lying. Yes, it is. It still is. Y'all knock it off. Ridiculous. Oh, and this one right here. Oh, I do too. It's pretty fun, Super Vector. It's super fun, especially when you try to do different ranges of a character's voice. It's still pretty fun. And this one right here, I think it's mentioning high functioning. Let's see, it says level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's see, and this one is talking about stemming. This one right here says toys such as fidget spinners were designed to help people who stem, focus, stay calm, particularly in classrooms. Honestly, I used to see them fidget spinners in high school, but I was so confused about them. And even when I played with it, I still was confused about it. But the one thing I did love to play with was like a rubber band. I did used to love pulling the thing. Let's see. Oh, what's that, Jaden? Let's see. Oh, it can be. That makes sense. Let's see. In stinning, let's see. Right here, overstimulation, understimulation, regulation of emotions, and pain reduction. Let's see, and what else? Applied behavior analysis, sensory diet, environmental changes, and stress management tools, medications. I never took medications though. Ooh, and this one right here. Speech therapy can be used to help both nonverbal and verbal autistic children develop language skills. It actually has been very useful to some of them, and it actually helps them learn how to communicate with people. And it says right here, depending on the severity of autism spectrum disorder, treatments can be a combination of behavioral, medicinal, and at-home remedies. Therapy usually is the best option to help the child or teen or even adults out. Hyperactivity, insomnia. I can't stand having insomnia, especially when I really want to go to sleep. Let's see. Nothing interesting there. Not there. And this one's an interesting one. Signs of autism in babies and toddlers. Though difficult to diagnose, children as young as 6 months old can present with signs of autism spectrum disorder, which is true. It can happen as early as around that age when you're like a baby or a toddler. It's difficult, but it's honestly interesting. But it's understandable that sometimes the behaviors can be seen as early as that age. Let's see, and proper hygiene, including shaving, is an important life skill to learn for teens, which is true. And here's an interesting one. Autism in girls. Girls with I can't speak. Girls with ASD tend to go undiagnosed or are diagnosed much later in life than boys are. This is because autistic traits tend to look different in girls and are also more subtle. Regardless, getting an early diagnosis is just as crucial for girls as it is for boys. Don't you guys agree? Because I mean, it's crazy, you know? And it says right here, signs and symptoms of autism in females, particularly those on the high functioning end of the spectrum, include relying on other people to guide or speak for them, which is true for me, and having unusual sensitivity to sensory challenges, true that, having passionate but limited interest, true, and let's see, difficulty in making friends and keeping friends, still me to this day, quit calling me out. And having conversations that are restricted to limited topics of interest. Is this one calling me out? Difficulty with social communication, which increases with age. Oh my God. Appearing to be shy, quiet, and unusually passive, having depression, anxiety, or other mental health symptoms, difficulty controlling emotions. All of those are true for me. Having epileptic seizures. Okay, that one's the only one that's not true about me. I don't get seizures. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that, because I would have been scared. Let's see. Whoop. Let's see, and okay, nothing interesting there. Let's see. That'll take too long. At every age, an autistic child's parent is the best advocate for their treatment. That's true, and that's how I feel with my mom to this day. Love my mom. It's like not only is she my best friend, she's also my therapist at my at home therapist. I love my mom so much. She does take the time and effort to make sure her children are happy. Because I mean, what mom doesn't? Let's see. Let's see. Anything else? Let's see. Go into this magazine to see if there's any more interesting clues. Ooh, and this one's a good one here. Self-expression through art, music, and other outlets can help autistic people manage anxiety and stress. That is true. I express I do self-expressions by doing stories and listening to music and pretty much just be in my own world. Everybody else agree? You guys do the same thing, like express yourself through either art or music or stories or through anything, basically. See anything else? Let's see. Nope. Okay, so this one's a tricky one, the autism and employment. It can be very difficult to try to find a job, especially for those who are on the spectrum. But the thing that I learned is that it's best to find a job that is within your interest, like within your best interests, the ones that will make you not only enjoy the place because it's got something that you're interested in, but also you get to have fun and spread joy and happiness with everyone. Which honestly is true. And that's why I mostly try to find a job that's more suitable for me because it's something that I enjoy. And I'm positively 100% sure the same thing will happen to AG. And everyone, keep giving her high hopes and make sure that she gets the job that she needs or the job that she picks within her interests. Oh, hello, Mr. M. I haven't seen you in a while. That is right, Autism Month. Let's see, is there anything else? Let's see, nope. This one's an interesting one as well, which I'm pretty sure most can relate to. This one says autistic people have a higher than usual rates of food sensitivities. So a special diet like gluten-free may help uh, alleviate symptoms. And let's see, special diet. Diet and yeah, okay. And so that kind of reminds me, I have this thing, well, actually everyone has this very particular way of how they eat stuff. Like let's say you're on the spectrum, let's say you're at a restaurant, for example, you're trying to find the food that is within the one that you can eat and the one that's it's not gonna make you like, gag. Like my safe food now is now veggie related food. Because I think if I try to eat the other stuff, I feel like I'm about to throw up. And because of the taste, it feels a little weird. Let's see, Lego therapy. I don't like Lego. Ooh, and this one's a pretty common one, masking. Sometimes masking can lead to burnouts, and that's actually not a good thing because you're basically hiding your true self by basically pretending you're a neurotypical when actually it's not true. I still do that to this day, even when I'm like at a store or somewhere. It's not easy, It's crazy. Excuse me. And the last thing, autism-friendly spaces. For children and adults with autism spectrum disorder, these venues can be the best way to engage in activities in their community. Public venues may offer autism-friendly accommodations, which is true. Everything must be sensory-friendly. I just realized my previous job was not sensory-friendly at all, and it was tough. But hey, look at me, I'm still I'm still being me. And that's all from this magazine. I gotta turn off this flashlight before it kills my battery. And so the last thing I do want to share is that I kind of did had a sensory overload multiple times at school, either from like the children, the other classmates at the time getting on my nerves, or them being too loud and doing too much. And this one time, I did explain it before, is that when this was in middle school, by the way, this is when all of the teens were acting like total fools because the teacher wasn't in the classroom at the time and it was in the music room. And basically, all of them were acting like fools. They all was so loud, turning the light on and off, dancing around, moving chairs all over the place. And it was too much for me. I just sat there in a chair, felt like I was being, tortured in the inside, especially my ears. But luckily, a guard came by and told everyone to sit their butt down. And I was so relieved. I couldn't thank that woman enough. I still thank her in my head to this day because that was a relief. It was a total relief. It was a nightmare though. And of course, middle school entirely was a nightmare because every day I dealt with bullying. I couldn't be myself. Every time I tried listening to music, everybody thought it was funny and weird and stupid. But it's whatever. They basically have a problem with anybody who tries to be themselves, Lame. Oh, you guys mentioning that Snow White movie? I avoided that movie and I do not want to see it because I knew within my heart that it was gonna be down the dumps. That's why I was like, nope. Don't hide yourself, Super Vector. Continue being yourself. It doesn't matter what they think. Because look at me. I dealt with the years of people thinking that I was weird, but look at me. I'm still living my life just the way it is. And look at me. I'm on YouTube doing this stream right now. Because before I never would have done it if I didn't have the confidence. Like they said, continue being yourself and don't let anybody's negative words affect you. Continue being yourself no matter what. You thought Dragon Ball Evolution or that last Airbender movie was bad? Oh, Disney. All I can say is they need help. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I did have fun on this stream with you guys, and I'd like to welcome all the neurodivergent individuals who are watching or join the stream with me. I appreciate it very much. You guys are awesome. And me being a neurodivergent myself, I appreciate you guys willing to put the time and effort to join in the stream and make me feel like I'm not alone. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Ooh, and since it's getting kind of late, it is best for me to eat some dinner. I might as well get going for the evening. Again, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And remember to tell yourself that you are special, wonderful, and beautiful inside and out, no matter what anybody says. Celebrate neurodiversity. Anyways, I gotta get going for the evening. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Bye, buzzing folks.